There are moments in the automotive world when a familiar shape returns looking almost the same but feeling completely new, moments when engineering ambition meets decades of trust and loyalty. This is not just another mid-size truck story, it is the next chapter in a legacy that helped define how America works, plays, and travels off the pavement. What happens when the formula that built that reputation adds electric torque and high-efficiency precision without losing its grit? The 2025 model we are diving into today promises to do exactly that, and whether you are a weekend adventurer, a contractor, or simply a fan of mechanical evolution, it is one of the most important trucks of the decade. If you want more deep dives into the machines that shape modern driving, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments which vehicle we should cover next. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid arrives at a moment when the mid-size truck market is under more scrutiny than ever. Buyers want power, durability, and lower fuel bills, and for years, that combination seemed impossible. Toyota has long owned this space, but rivals have evolved fast, offering turbocharged engines and plush interiors. For Toyota, the answer was not to start over but to integrate lessons from its hybrid leadership into a platform that still feels familiar to longtime Tacoma owners. This is the first time the Tacoma nameplate gets a full hybrid powertrain in the United States, built around Toyota's iForce Max system. It pairs a 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine with an electric motor and a 1.87 kilowatt-hour battery pack, producing a combined 326 horsepower and a mighty 465 pound-feet of torque. Those are numbers you once had to buy a full-size truck to experience. Now they sit beneath a Tacoma hood. Toyota's engineers built this truck around the new TNGAF platform, a modular frame architecture shared with the latest Tundra and Sequoia. It is stronger, lighter, and more adaptable, which is critical because the Tacoma lineup spans everything from simple work trucks to desert racing TRD pros. The hybrid setup fits neatly between the frame rails without compromising ground clearance, and it uses an 8-speed automatic transmission to keep power delivery seamless on and off-road. For most owners, that means smoother acceleration on city streets and instant torque when crawling over rocks or pulling out of deep sand. It is a hybrid not built for silence or fuel sipping alone but for endurance under stress. The shift to electrified torque changes how the Tacoma Hybrid feels to drive. Step on the accelerator, and the electric motor fills in the low-end torque gap, erasing turbo lag and giving the truck an immediate surge of strength. On long climbs, the motor assists the engine to reduce strain. On downhill runs, regenerative braking captures energy otherwise lost as heat. Toyota claims fuel economy improvements that could reach into the high 20s in combined driving, though real-world results depend heavily on use. The idea is simple: deliver the same truck feel but make it smarter about how it spends every drop of fuel. Inside, Toyota redesigned the cabin to match the mechanical update. The dashboard is horizontal and truck-tough, but the materials feel more refined than before. Every Tacoma hybrid trim gets digital displays, modern connectivity, and optional off-road tech like multi-terrain monitors and trail cameras. The driving position finally feels adult-sized, fixing one of the most common complaints about older models. From the driver's seat, you notice something else too: quiet confidence. The hybrid system hums beneath you, but road and wind noise are noticeably lower. It is not luxury car silent, it is composed in a way that suits its new identity. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid also marks a shift in manufacturing philosophy. Toyota's San Antonio plant, where the truck is assembled, now operates with a more flexible line strategy that allows the same workforce to build multiple trims and powertrains with minimal downtime. That flexibility is key to how Toyota can scale hybrid production quickly if demand spikes. And given how well the Tacoma name sells, that spike seems likely. Another major talking point is the TRD Pro variant, which uses the hybrid system as standard. In this trim, the Tacoma Hybrid becomes an off-road powerhouse with a coil spring rear suspension, Fox QS3 adjustable shocks, and an integrated aluminum skid plate. The instant torque from the hybrid system helps in technical off-road situations, where precise throttle control matters more than raw horsepower. Combined with the multi-terrain select system and crawl control, the hybrid setup gives the TRD Pro a level of finesse that earlier gas-only models lacked. There is also the Trailhunter trim, built for overlanding enthusiasts. It uses the same hybrid backbone but adds ARB steel bumpers, a snorkel, and long-range suspension tuning. The hybrid powertrain's torque delivery complements this mission perfectly. It can push through heavy terrain with less throttle effort, conserving traction and reducing drivetrain stress. The result is a truck that can spend days off-grid without feeling overworked. All these upgrades raise one big question: does adding hybrid power compromise the Tacoma's durability? Toyota's engineers seem confident it does not. The hybrid components, including the motor and battery, are sealed and mounted high to handle water crossings and rough terrain. The battery itself is air-cooled rather than liquid-cooled, simplifying maintenance and reducing failure points. Toyota's global experience with hybrid reliability, spanning over 2 decades, gives the Tacoma a strong foundation of trust. Still, every innovation faces skepticism. Hardcore truck owners worry that hybrid parts might be costly to replace or difficult to service in remote areas. Toyota counters this by ensuring compatibility with its existing dealer network and designing the system for accessibility. The hybrid battery is located under the rear seat, not under the bed, making it easier to reach without major disassembly. That attention to serviceability is part of Toyota's broader push to make electrification feel less intimidating for traditional truck buyers. For those who care about towing, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid delivers up to 6,000 pounds of capacity. That is slightly below some V6 competitors but well within the practical range for boats, small trailers, and recreational gear. The trade-off is payload efficiency and torque availability. With the electric motor assisting low-speed pulls, the hybrid feels stronger than its official rating suggests, especially when launching from a stop. Drivers get more confidence when merging onto highways or overtaking with a full load. In daily driving, the Tacoma Hybrid feels more refined than ever. The steering has been retuned for precision. The suspension isolates bumps better without feeling soft. The hybrid system's weight distribution improves balance, reducing body roll through corners. Off-road, the added weight of the hybrid components is noticeable only to seasoned drivers, and even then, it is offset by improved torque control. Toyota's engineers call it predictable muscle, strength you can measure in precision, not excess. As trucks evolve, expectations evolve too. Buyers no longer want stripped-down utility boxes, they want comfort, tech, and efficiency without sacrificing capability. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid fits that mold almost perfectly. It proves that electrification and tradition can coexist, not as opposites but as partners. Yet, the deeper question remains: how does this hybrid transformation alter the Tacoma's place in America's truck hierarchy? That is what we explore next. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid represents more than a mechanical upgrade. It is a shift in how Toyota defines performance and purpose in the American truck landscape. To understand why this move matters, we need to look at the forces shaping today's market. Truck buyers are no longer a single type of driver. Some still want the bare-bones workhorse, others treat their pickup as a lifestyle machine loaded with features, gadgets, and comfort. Fuel prices, environmental regulations, and shifting consumer priorities have forced every manufacturer to rethink what a mid-size truck should be. Toyota saw the opportunity early. It recognized that the Tacoma's loyal base could adapt if the product stayed authentic while delivering measurable benefits. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid is the answer to that challenge. It brings together Toyota's deep hybrid experience with its hard-earned reputation for toughness. The result is a vehicle that feels traditional yet technologically advanced. The iForce Max system underpins this evolution. It does not chase record-breaking horsepower for bragging rights but focuses on usable torque and consistency. When you drive it, what stands out is not the number on the spec sheet but how effortlessly it handles everyday tasks. That balance reflects Toyota's design philosophy: performance without waste. Beyond the hardware, the Tacoma hybrid's existence speaks to a cultural transition. In the past, the American truck symbolized independence through sheer displacement and noise. The hybrid changes that narrative. Torque no longer depends on engine size but on clever energy management. Drivers who once judged performance by sound now measure it in response time and traction. Toyota's engineers have essentially redefined what muscle means in this class. This redefinition is subtle but profound, and it positions the Tacoma as a bridge between traditional trucks and the electric pickups emerging over the next decade. Inside the cabin, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid tells its own story of balance. You get the familiar vertical stance and wide visibility that owners expect, but every control feels more deliberate. The digital gauge cluster displays hybrid energy flow, regenerative braking status, and real-time torque distribution. For enthusiasts, this data transforms every drive into a small engineering lesson. For casual drivers, it builds confidence by making complex systems intuitive. Toyota's software interface, now smoother and more responsive, reflects how even analog-feeling trucks must live in a connected world. Smartphone integration, over-the-air updates, and advanced driver assists ensure the Tacoma Hybrid is ready for the next phase of vehicle intelligence. In terms of driving character, the hybrid powertrain introduces nuances rarely felt in mid-sized trucks. The seamless blend of electric and combustion power reduces fatigue over long distances. On curvy backroads, throttle response feels more immediate and linear. When towing, the hybrid's torque fills in the gaps that turbo-only engines struggle with. That makes highway merges more predictable and uphill climbs less stressful. This level of refinement shows Toyota's strategy: make hybridization feel like a performance upgrade, not an environmental compromise. The Tacoma Hybrid's suspension geometry plays a crucial role here. Toyota re-engineered the rear setup from leaf springs to coil springs on higher trims, including hybrid variants. This change, combined with electronic damping control, delivers both stability and articulation. For off-roaders, that means the rear wheels stay planted longer on uneven surfaces. For city commuters, it means smoother rides over potholes and expansion joints. It is a practical example of how mechanical evolution meets user comfort. Every innovation brings trade-offs. The Tacoma Hybrid's battery placement under the rear seat slightly reduces interior storage, and its curb weight increases by a few hundred pounds. Yet, those penalties are offset by superior balance and improved ride quality. Toyota's engineers accepted small compromises to achieve a major improvement in drivability. For long-term ownership, the battery's sealed design and 10-year warranty provide peace of mind. Toyota expects it to outlast the vehicle's average lifespan under normal use, echoing the brand's reliability ethos. From a market perspective, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid also reshapes competitive dynamics. Mid-sized trucks were once dominated by naturally aspirated engines, then turbocharged four-cylinders became the trend. Now, hybridization enters as the next frontier. By beating many rivals to this milestone, Toyota secures a head start in efficiency and consumer perception. Buyers who might hesitate to jump straight into a full electric truck see the Tacoma Hybrid as a logical middle ground. It offers the promise of electrification without the anxiety of charging infrastructure. Economically, Toyota's decision to offer hybrid power across multiple trims, not just top-tier models, ensures broader appeal. Fleet buyers can reduce fuel expenses, outdoor enthusiasts gain low-end torque for trail work, everyday commuters enjoy reduced fuel stops. This inclusivity strengthens brand loyalty while expanding market reach. In a category where reputation can make or break sales, Toyota's strategy looks calculated and forward-thinking. Culturally, the Tacoma Hybrid taps into a generational shift. Younger buyers entering the truck market grew up with hybrid cars as normal. They are not nostalgic for big displacement engines, they value efficiency and tech integration. Toyota's hybrid approach gives them a truck that aligns with their values without alienating older customers who prize dependability. It is a masterclass in incremental innovation, using familiarity to introduce transformation. Even the sound of the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid reflects this balance. The turbocharged engine emits a confident growl, but the electric motor smooths transitions and trims excess noise. It feels controlled, purposeful, and distinctly modern. You sense capability, not aggression. Toyota's tuning avoids artificial sound effects or exaggerated exhaust tones, focusing instead on authenticity. That attention to detail reinforces the brand's belief that real power should feel natural, not theatrical. In the bigger picture, the Tacoma Hybrid may prove to be Toyota's most influential midsize truck since the nameplate debuted. It signals where the brand sees its future in North America, an intersection of tradition, innovation, and sustainability. It also sets expectations for what future hybrid trucks might deliver. If the Tacoma Hybrid succeeds commercially, it will encourage further electrification across Toyota's global pickup lineup. The hybrid's success could also influence public policy and consumer perception. As regulators push for lower emissions without banning combustion engines entirely, hybrids become a practical solution. They extend the life of internal combustion while preparing consumers for full electric adoption. The Tacoma Hybrid embodies this transition perfectly, showing how incremental progress can yield real-world impact. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid arrives not only as a new truck but as a symbol of transition for an entire segment. When you look at how American pickups evolved over the past 20 years, one thing stands out: efficiency used to be an afterthought. Now it defines the conversation. The Tacoma Hybrid is Toyota's proof that efficiency and authenticity can share the same chassis. It shows that progress does not have to abandon tradition, it can refine it. The result is a truck that feels both modern and timeless, setting the stage for what mid-size pickups will look like for the next decade. The larger significance of the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid is its influence on perception. For many buyers, the word hybrid used to imply compromise, less capable, less exciting, maybe even less durable. Toyota dismantles that stereotype by showing that hybrid systems can amplify capability instead of replacing it. The instant torque improves traction on slippery surfaces, the smoother power curve makes towing easier, and the regenerative braking adds a layer of control that drivers quickly learn to appreciate. This is not a green vehicle pretending to be a truck, it is a truck that happens to be more intelligent about its power. From a broader industry viewpoint, Toyota's hybrid strategy challenges the all-or-nothing mindset of electrification. While some manufacturers bet heavily on full electric trucks, Toyota positions the Tacoma Hybrid as the pragmatic middle path, offering most of the efficiency gains without the infrastructure limitations. For American consumers, that approach resonates. Charging networks are still unevenly distributed, and many truck owners live in regions where full electric ownership is inconvenient. The Tacoma Hybrid steps into that gap, proving that progress can be gradual and still meaningful. In performance terms, the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid sets a new benchmark for balanced engineering. Its hybrid powertrain delivers consistent torque across a wide rev range, giving drivers confidence in any scenario. Off-road, it crawls with precision; on pavement, it cruises quietly and efficiently. The hybrid system's ability to manage heat, distribute load, and recover energy underlines Toyota's deep understanding of mechanical harmony. Every component feels integrated, not added. That seamlessness distinguishes it from rivals who often bolt hybrid tech onto existing drivetrains as an afterthought. The design philosophy behind the Tacoma Hybrid extends beyond performance. Toyota invested heavily in refining aerodynamics and underbody efficiency. Small improvements, like reshaped fenders, optimized airflow beneath the chassis, and a redesigned grille shutter system, add up to measurable fuel savings. These subtle engineering touches often go unnoticed by casual observers but reveal Toyota's obsession with detail. The company's approach is evolutionary, not revolutionary. Improve every piece until the sum transforms the whole. Environmental impact plays a central role too. By reducing fuel consumption and emissions while maintaining utility, the Tacoma Hybrid offers a tangible benefit without demanding lifestyle changes. For contractors, adventurers, and daily commuters alike, the result is lower running costs and fewer fill-ups. It aligns with Toyota's long-term carbon neutrality goals, but in a way that feels realistic for today's drivers. The message is simple: you can reduce your footprint without shrinking your capabilities. There is also a psychological shift embedded in the Tacoma Hybrid. For decades, truck buyers associated toughness with fuel consumption. The bigger the engine, the more capable the machine. The Hybrid flips that logic. Strength now comes from optimization rather than excess. That mental reset could redefine how future generations think about trucks. When drivers experience how effortlessly the Hybrid delivers torque, how smoothly it transitions between power sources, and how rarely it feels strained, the old metrics of masculinity and capability begin to fade. This is not weakness disguised as progress, it is progress proving its strength. Culturally, the Tacoma Hybrid reflects how utility vehicles have become lifestyle anchors. They are no longer just tools for work but symbols of personal identity. Toyota understands this dual role and designed the Hybrid to appeal emotionally as well as practically. Its exterior remains unmistakably rugged, but its Hybrid badge signals intelligence and awareness. It tells the world that you value both endurance and efficiency, a statement that resonates with modern American sensibilities. The success of the 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid could set off a domino effect across the industry. Other manufacturers watching closely will likely accelerate their own hybrid truck programs. Competition will intensify, and that benefits consumers. More choices, better efficiency, and faster innovation will follow. If Toyota proves that hybrid trucks can be profitable and desirable, it could reshape the roadmap for every major automaker. In that sense, the Tacoma Hybrid is not just another model, it is a strategic pivot point. From an ownership perspective, the Tacoma Hybrid also influences long-term economics. Lower fuel use means lower operating costs, reduced mechanical strain could extend component life, and strong resale value, something Toyota trucks are famous for, will likely hold steady or even improve. Buyers investing in this generation get both immediate savings and future assurance. The hybrid system may cost more upfront, but the payoff comes through years of dependable performance and fewer trips to the pump. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid also serves as a blueprint for integrating advanced technology without alienating traditional drivers. Its interfaces remain physical enough to satisfy those who dislike touchscreen overload, yet digital enough to stay current. Safety systems like adaptive cruise control, lane tracing, and pedestrian detection operate quietly in the background, enhancing confidence without dominating the driving experience. Toyota balances automation with agency, preserving the sense that you, not the software, are still in charge. Perhaps the most profound impact of the Tacoma Hybrid lies in its emotional effect. People form attachments to their trucks, they become partners in work, travel, and exploration. By evolving that bond through technology, Toyota ensures the Tacoma remains relevant to new generations of drivers. It keeps the spirit of independence alive but updates it for an age that values sustainability and precision. As this truck begins to populate roads and trails across the country, its legacy will depend not just on reliability or sales but on how it influences expectations. If owners discover that hybridization makes their daily drives easier, cheaper, and more enjoyable, they will carry that perception forward. Future vehicles, whether plug-in or fully electric, will benefit from that trust. In this way, the Tacoma Hybrid functions as both pioneer and diplomat, easing the transition between eras. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid closes a loop that began nearly 30 years ago when the first Tacoma hit American roads. Back then, Toyota's mission was simple: build a mid-sized truck that could outlast its owner, survive any terrain, and deliver consistent value. Over time, that formula turned the Tacoma into a cultural touchstone, admired by outdoor enthusiasts, small business owners, and anyone who valued reliability over flash. With the 2025 Tacoma Hybrid, That same mission evolves for a world that now demands efficiency and intelligence alongside strength. What stands out most about this generation is how it honors its lineage while quietly reshaping expectations. The design still communicates confidence, the capability remains intact, but the driving experience feels smarter, calmer, and more deliberate. Every piece of hybrid technology exists to make the truck more responsive to its environment and more respectful of its resources. The old equation, more displacement equals more power, has been replaced by one built on precision and balance. For longtime fans, it is reassurance that progress does not erase history, it refines it. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid's impact will extend far beyond its specifications. It represents a strategic blueprint for how automakers can adapt their icons without alienating loyal customers. By choosing hybridization instead of jumping straight to full electrification, Toyota created a bridge that helps traditional drivers cross into a new era at their own pace. It is an inclusive approach to innovation, inviting, not imposing. That philosophy may prove to be the brand's most valuable asset in the decade ahead. As trucks become more sophisticated, their purpose remains the same: to connect people with work, adventure, and each other. The Tacoma Hybrid reinforces that connection with technology that supports, not overshadows, the driver. It demonstrates that capability and conscience can share the same road. And in doing so, it sets the tone for what responsible performance looks like in a world still passionate about trucks. The 2025 Toyota Tacoma Hybrid is not just another new model, it is a statement of intent. It shows that durability and sustainability can coexist, that power can be intelligent, and that evolution can feel natural. As more of these trucks begin to roll across the country, they carry with them the message that progress is not about abandoning what worked before but about improving it for what comes next. That is the legacy of the Tacoma Hybrid, proof that the heart of a great truck does not beat louder, it beats smarter. And for anyone who loves the story of how vehicles shape culture as much as they serve it, this is just the beginning.